How's it going, everyone? All right, we're gonna go through a little bit of a walkthrough on Owners Club. They're currently in their beta, so they've got some beta races going on right now. But just gonna do a little walkthrough of the app and give you some pointers as to what to do if you want to join in. All right, so on the home screen here, you can see that we have tasks up at the top. If you click that, you can see your daily tasks, which will give you rewards. Important to always complete these because you're getting some key bonuses for free and also some key coins that will help you enter races and level up your horses. Um, Below that are just some available races. We can not so important here, but we'll get to that kind of later. Next is the stable. So in the stable, you'll see all your horses. If you scroll to the left or right, you'll go through various horses that you have. As you can see, on some of these they say NFT, and on some of them they don't. So the ones that are non-NFT horses, you get free in the game, or you can buy in game. And in doing that, you can enter NFT or non-NFT based races, which you can then earn coins for. So it's good to have a mix of both, and it kind of provides a cheaper entry or a lower barrier of entry for people joining the game when they can get some experience playing with just a non NFT horse. And then what you can do in here is you can start to train your horse. So as you can see, this horse is already all trained up, but here, let me go pick somebody that's not. Sorry, I got a lot of horses. Yeah, okay. So this one is not fully trained. We got 5 training points left. So in this situation, when we're looking at what to train and what we should be training for, you need to be looking at what kind of horse it is. So as you can see right here, this horse is a marathoner. So it's a long race horse, best for 8 furlong or 10 furlong races. Currently, I don't think there are any 10 furlong races available in the public races, but you can still do them in the training. But will be important later on. But this kind of dictates what you want to be keying in on as far as which stats to build. So for marathoners, you want to be stamina heavy. Acceleration is probably your third stat, and speed would be your second. So you want to be primary stamina, secondary speed, and then beyond that, you can start to look at some of the genetic traits that are available. So like this horse is favorite strategy is to save stamina and make a strong burst at the end. So you typically look at this horse as a stalker. So there's 3 different race styles once you get to racing your horse, and we'll go over that. But so maybe I'll go to that right now just to give you an idea. So this is the instant race platform. This is where you can train your horses, and maybe win a little bit extra coin. So in here, I'm just going to pick a horse, shooting star here. And so as you can see here, there's a tactic box. This tactic box, you can either do front runner, closer, stalker. So depending on the type of horse you have, so if we go into, say, this guy right here, and we go down to his acceleration traits down here, we can see that he's a natural leader, so he likes to be a front runner essentially, and he's a strong starter. So all of his starter stats will get boosts. So that's important when you're building your stats, because as you can see in here, I went pretty heavy on my starting skills because he's getting a boost. So that's some alpha for building your horse, is like concentrate on what your acceleration skills are and then apply your skills to that. And so also you can go into here and you can, if you have points still left, you can allocate points to the various skills. But essentially, once you get to here and you want to race them, you have the 3 tactic choices, and then you can start to load in gear. So you can buff like speed, stamina, and acceleration, the 3 main stats. And you can do that for headwear, saddle, shoes, and then there's a booster as well. So the booster will help with either your starting skill boosts, your racing skill boosts, or your finishing skill boosts. So depending on what kind of horse you are racing, you want to then match that up with the appropriate booster. So if Shooting Star is a stalker, I want to match him up with a racing booster. And then you can enter the race, and then you can watch it or skip it. I'm just going to skip it for now. It'll show you the results. It gives you your prize winnings. So my fee was 500. I won 600, so I netted positive 100 right there. It also shows your speed rating. That's kind of important to look at because that will tell you how fast your horse is depending on the choices that you made as far as building it and the choices that you made as far as boosting it with the various boosters before. So if you see like a lower speed rating, maybe you're not picking the right trait, or maybe you're not picking the right boosters or boosting the right stat to get you up to that kind of higher echelon. So kind of keep an eye on that. And there's also in the public races a odds percentage, which is also given to you. So also keep an eye on that because, the lower the odds, the better you've essentially matched your horse up with the right race. So let's maybe go to that right now. So in the racing menu, you can go to public races. And in here are all of the public races that happen throughout the day and night. And you can join up to them about an hour before they start. So you can see these ones right here. I can't join because they're already within an hour. But these ones beyond here, I can join. So if I want, I can pick one of these. So this one's a 8 furlong race. The track surface is turf. So important to kind of keep an eye on what the track surface is because your horse will define which track surface will define which horse you pick. So if I go into here and look at, and this is also a grade 1 NFT race, so it'll only show my grade 1 NFTs. So of my grade 1 NFTs, I have, 7. Which one do I want to pick for this race? Well, it's an 8 furlong race, so I want to be looking at something like a marathoner. And I want to be looking at a marathoner with turf. So this guy, Untouchable, he has turf, right? He has a marathoner. And, he's fully stacked out. So he should do well in this race. Also, we've got to look at his stats. He's a natural leader and a jockeyer. So he's going to get bonuses to his racing skills, as well as he wants to be out in front. So oftentimes I'll play this guy as a front runner, but I can also play him as a stalker, because he does get those boosts to those stats. So always want to kind of marry up your booster with whatever you get as a boost from your genetic traits. And in this case, we're getting a significant boost to our racing skills. So we want to double boost that. Also important to note, the little chevrons in the bottom right-hand corner here also dictate how many, or how high of a stat boost you get. So I could think 4 chevrons is probably one of the highest. As you can see, this is a 1 chevron, 3 chevrons. If you want to get a little bit more linear as to what those chevrons actually mean, you can go into the actual NFT itself. So this isn't him, but let's go to him. If I can find him. I can't even. Well, let's just go into one of these. Oh, that is him. Look at that. Boom. Okay, so there's Untouchable. So in the stats themselves, if we go down, we can see So in here we can see, a numeric number that is like a value of how much they are get a boost to that stat. So if it's a turf lover, he's got 79, which is pretty high for turf lover. So any turf-based races, he gets a pretty good boost on. When we were looking at, what were we looking at? We were looking at the jockeying into position. So the jockeying into position, I think I passed it here. Oh, there it is 60. So, 60's high. It's not like a 70, 80 kind of thing. I think they cap out around 90 maybe, but you don't really see a lot of those high 80, 90 numbers. Yeah, so 60 is pretty high. As you can see, the other traits around there are all in the 40s and 50s kind of thing. So it's just, something to kind of keep track of when you're buying horses, or if you're looking for horses, or if you haven't unlocked the skill on this screen. So if you're still building your horse from scratch, you're not going to unlock these until they get all the way through. So it's important to maybe go back and look at what might be unlocked and, kind of gear your horse towards those things. So the actual horse metadata, there's a lot of metadata in here, but it's very important. And as you can see, the acceleration traits get unlocked as you unlock them within the game. So, very cool kind of concept that the metadata is constantly changing and constantly updating. So let's go back to the race. So in here, as we can see, we're going to add some boosters to them. So each of these boosters add 10 basis points to each of these attributes. So if I were to go into his attributes, even though I can't see it here, if I were to go back to the stable, now I got to find him. There he is. Okay, so if I go into his stats right here, unfortunately you can't see it, but when you are still training your horses, like let me find one that's still training. This guy's still training. Okay, so when you're in here and you're still training them, you can see how many points there is to go up to the next level. So when you apply your boosts, it's going to apply 10 basis points to each of these that you boost. So for instance, if I were to boost the acceleration in this screen, I would go up to 73 acceleration. If I were to boost the speed, however, in this screen, I would still stay at 73 speed. It would require 2 boosts of speed to get me up to 74. So keeping that in mind, and maybe important to kind of write down your stats of your horse once you are just about to fully level him, so that you know which stats those are. It's important to kind of go back and check on all of that so that you're making sure that you're applying the right boosts. So then when we go back into our public race, and I think it was this one we're going to do. Nope, that's the wrong one. Oh, it's already passed. See, so it's this one right here. It was already passed. Anyways, I'll pick another one. 5D, 5 furlong dirt. So I need a sprinter in dirt. Rolling Thunder's my sprinter in dirt. So he is a stalker. How do I know that? Because he has a jockeying into position genetic trait. So I go back, I then apply the racing booster to marry up to that stalker bonus. I then can see in here which ones are going to be buffed. I then look at my speed and acceleration. I'm going to apply 1 speed, which gives me +1. I can try to apply a second speed, but I don't think I'll get another +2. So it would actually require 3 speeds to get me up to 83. I think I might be better off trying to go with 2 accelerations instead. So 1 acceleration didn't get me there, but 2 acceleration will get me the +1 on my acceleration there. So now you can see I've got boosts to my speed and acceleration going into this race, as well as the racing booster. And he's a stalker, so now he's ready to go. Enter him into the race, pay your deposit, and now you can kind of scroll down and see what your odds are and your speed rating. So for this race, I have the tied for the highest speed rating, so that's really good. You're probably asking, why do I have such crappy odds against my horse? That would be because, sometimes your horse is not as good of a performer in the past, and so your speed rating will reflect that. Okay. Other than that, let's go back. There's also rankings in here. So there's now rankings for each sprinters, milers, and marathoners. And then also broke down into grade 1, grade 2, and non-NFT horses. So, it's in each of these categories, you'll be able to see, not only where the leaderboard is, but where you stack up. So, in this category, the NFT Grade 2 Sprinters, I've got 2 horses in the top 10 and 1 just barely out of it. But if I were to go, say, to the Milers, I don't have anyone in the top 10, but what it does show me in the bottom here is where my horse in this leaderboard is. So as you can see at the very bottom, Dark Knight, and he's 26th ranked, not having a good time, hasn't shown at all in his 8 races that he's raced. Sometimes, you're just racing them to kind of give them some experience, and that's okay. But it's good to kind of like see both sides of the fence. And then if you want, you can start wagering on things. So, any of the races that are within an hour, you're able to wager on. So you can go in, look and see their odds, their speed rating. You can go in and see their previous stats of how they've done lifetime or last 20 races, or how they've done at that club, or how they've done on that surface, or how they've done in those condition weathers, because there's also sunny weather and rain and all other stuff. So like all of those factors kind of need to be married in when making a choice. And there's lots of stats to kind of go through. So I think it's, important if you're going to start wagering to kind of like rifle through those stats and find the best opportunity for a winner. I think that's about it for now. Hope you enjoyed a little bit of walkthrough and got a little alpha on how to best suit your horses for your races. And talk to you later, guys.